I mean, you've been covering this from the beginning. Do you think there's something that led them there, whether it's the surveillance footage, whether it's the idea of collecting DNA, the gloves? Now there's been potential identifications of the clothing worn by the suspect. What's your gut telling you about what might have led them there? Because it seemed like my guests have been saying it looks like they were under surveillance for a little bit.
Yeah, it's my understanding that someone in the home was under surveillance, and I was getting, indications from my sources really starting in the late afternoon that something might be going down tonight. And then we reported when the SWAT team was staging. They staged at two different locations that we were at. They were all gathering together, and you got the sense that they were getting ready to do something. Granted, we've seen them do that other nights, and nothing has transpired, so we weren't really sure which way it was going to go tonight. And then, lo and behold, they staged at one location. They moved to a different location very close to the house, and then they moved in on the house pretty much at the same time that we know they moved in on that traffic stop, Jesse. Whether it has anything to do with the announcement by the sheriff that DNA was found inside the home, my sense is it doesn't. That this was someone who was probably already on their radar and under surveillance, but we're just going to have to wait and see.
Any idea of identities of these people?
No, we don't have names. We don't have identities. We don't, looks like there's someone else coming out here. So let me step out of the way. You can see who this is. But we do not, looks like this is maybe one of the SWAT units now leaving, Jesse. They've been there for a long time. I actually thought maybe these SWAT units would have left earlier once everything sort of calmed down. But yeah, this is what we saw roll in earlier. There were two of these, and that's how we knew that it was serious when you see these SWAT guys and everybody inside had their armor, and they weren't taking any chances earlier. But now they're starting to roll out, Jesse.
And that could be because they just have to make sure there's not a continuing security risk. I don't know how big this property is. I don't know what kind of complications it has. Not uncommon for a SWAT team to stay there to provide additional resources for quite some time. This is, by the way, there's been so much talk about cooperation, lack of cooperation between the sheriff's office and the FBI. Have you seen Sheriff Nanos at the scene?
I haven't seen him. That doesn't mean he's not here. It's so dark. When we were back there, it was hard to really see faces. So I know I confirmed that night that when we were at the scene at Rio Rico, he was there. The sheriff did show up. In terms of whether he's here tonight, I haven't heard.
I did think it was interesting that he did that interview with Elizabeth Vargas just hours before this. Was a little, as you should be, not revealing a lot of information.